Like this show and want to make your own? Let me tell you about Anchor. It's free. There's creation tools that allow you to record and edit your podcast right from your phone or computer. Now you can even add any song from Spotify directly to your episode. The possibilities are endless for what you can create, whether it's music analysis, your own radio show, or something the world's never heard before. Anchor will distribute your podcast for you so it can be heard on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, and many more. You can make money from your podcast with no minimum listenership. It's everything you need to make a podcast in one place. Download the free app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Hello, you're listening to Got Clutter, Get Organized, the podcast that focuses on helping you create space to attract more money, love, and happiness in your life. And I am your host, Janet M. Taylor. I want to say hello if you're a regular listener and welcome if you're listening for the very first time. I hope you're having a great start to your week. And if you're listening to this podcast, please leave a review so I can continue bringing you episodes each week. Well, this episode is very special to me because I celebrate 28 years in business. It's hard to believe it. Back in 1994, I started this business with a phone line and a fax machine. And in this episode, I'm just going to share some of the interesting projects I worked on and the impact organization has had on my life, and just kind of behind the scenes look at solutions I've provided for myself and my clients. I'll also be sharing my product, app, repurpose, and book suggestion for this week. And my question for you this week is, what benefit do you want to receive from getting organized? Now, I'm going to let you know I started this a little emotional and I had to take a moment before I pressed the record button. So I'm hoping I can get through this without any tears flowing. So just so you'll know, the National Association of Professional Organizers reports that on average, we spend 1 year of our lives looking for lost items. That's over 8,700 hours looking for lost or misplaced things. So, as I shared, in 1994, I took my natural ability and started Totally Organized LLC. I have been a government contractor. My celebrity clients include Les Brown and Dyana Williams. For 3 consecutive years, my company was recognized as one of the top minority firms by the Philadelphia Business Journal. Most recently, I've been a corporate trainer, conducting webinars for Fortune 500 companies, and in 2021, I conducted over 100 webinars, and some of those webinars had like over 500 people in attending. And believe it or not, I enjoyed all of those people attending. And of course, a lot of you know, in April 2018, I appeared on the Rachel Ray Show, where I was crowned the Clutter-Free Queen. I also appeared on HGTV's Mission Organization, and I have been a speaker for IKEA as well as the Philadelphia Home Show. But of course, most of you know me as the host and producer of this weekly podcast, Got Clutter, Get Organized. And thanks to all of you who listened to me in 2021, the podcast was ranked number 1 in the top 100 indie home and garden chart, and also ranked number 1 in the top 100 garden chart. And I also serve on the advisory board of my alma mater, which is Pierce College. I'm on the advisory board for the business division. So let me share just a couple of projects I worked on, and this is business projects. One of those was a client came to me because they were frustrated because he had several contractors reporting to him, but he suspected that one of those contractors was overbilling him. So I was basically hired to go through all of the invoices that this contractor submitted within a year's time, but also I had to compare that with what he should have been billing because of the type of service. He already knew the hours he would need to put in in order to complete the task. So I had to do all that comparing. And after doing that and creating spreadsheets, because somebody actually had went in and created spreadsheets. But what I did was I went in again and created spreadsheets and broke them down. I gave him a yearly outlook, but I also broke each month down within that year so he could see monthly what was taking place. He discovered that he was overbilled by $15,000, which is why you need to be organized in regards to invoicing and bookkeeping, which is why it's really good to have a good team. Another client was downsizing because she really wanted to save some money all around. So she was currently in 10,000 square feet. She was moving to less than 2,000 square feet. That was a lot of furniture. So I still remember the movers. The actual day of the move, they were laughing at me because I took all these pictures of her desk. Because I knew this particular client. I worked with her before on other projects. So I wanted her, because she was not around for the 2 days that all of this was taking place. She was not around. She said, I'm going to stay home and I'm going to come in and I'm going to, see how everything is and see if we need to make any adjustments, which is normal. So I was so happy because they were laughing at me because I took all those pictures, that when we were setting up things, because basically with that particular move going from 10,000 to 2, it was a matter of looking at the space, deciding what was important to keep. Of course, she needed a table for conference meetings, but she also needed to have her office functioning, not feeling overcrowded. And she had a reception area. So it was a small reception area, smaller conference room, and she had her office. So basically, I went through, let her know what we were going to keep, let the movers know what they needed to take, set everything up, set every single detail up on her desk. And she came in, and what was really wonderful for me and gratifying for me, she came in, she put on her flat shoes, and she was fine because every detail on her desk was where it was. I wanted her to feel comfortable, because sometimes in a downsize, in a move, you can feel a little, confused and, not feeling comfortable because everything's all over the place. But that's how I want her to feel. So on the business side, I saved one client over $15,000, because he discovered he was losing that, and then helping another client with downsizing. Now on the home front, and this was a virtual person I worked with, client. Her goal was basically to get that room, which a lot of you have, a junk room, and get it to it usable. But she felt overwhelmed. And after showing me pictures and videos, and I asked her what her goal was, and her goal was, I want to be able to, and this was pre-pandemic, I want people to be able to, when they come in town and they may be doing some job hunting, because of where I live, there's a lot of job opportunities. I want them to be able to stay with me and not have to rent a hotel. I said, okay. After looking at the pictures, and knowing her enthusiasm, I said, well, the first thing I need you to do is to deal with all the clothes in the room. Like, are you going to keep them? Do they need to go somewhere? And of course, she said, I knew you were going to tell me to deal with the clothes. But that's what I did. And by dealing with all of those clothes, it allowed her, one, to see the space she actually had, because once the clothes were gone, she realized how much space she had, but it also gave her the motivation to finish the project. So that was one of the things I did for a client. But now I want to end with how organization has impacted me personally. And some of you may have heard this story, especially since I've been doing this for 28 years. You may have heard this. So years ago, I was in the process of paying off a lot of debt. And I was keeping track of everything on spreadsheets. I like spreadsheets. So when I got the bill and I looked at, what my balance was and what was on the statement, it was off by $200. So I made a copy at that time, because it wasn't like I could email it to them. I made a copy of my spreadsheet, sent it to them with a letter, asked them if they would review it. After they did their little internal investigation, they realized that there was an error on their end, because I had all of this documentation of how much this, the statement came in. This is how much, interest or whatever, or late payments. And so I had documentation. And then the last thing I want to share with you is years ago, I was going through issues with fibroids. And of course, what I really didn't know is sometimes when you have those type of issues, all other things happen in your body. One of those was high blood pressure. So I was on high blood pressure medicine. But then after taking it for a while, I started feeling like, really lightheaded, that I didn't want to get out of bed. So I told my doctor, and she said, okay. She said, just keep track of your blood pressure. I had a blood pressure machine. So I kept taking my blood pressure, morning, noon, night. Had an appointment with her, presented her. She said, well, how's things going? I said, it's very low. And I said, in my opinion, I think it's too low, but I need you to look at the numbers. She's like, well, what are the numbers? And I presented her with the spreadsheet, and she looked at them, and then she said, oh yeah, that's right. You do organizing. So after conversations, she decided that she wanted to wean me off slowly of the medication. That was back in 2015. That was back in 2005, 06 when all of that took place. I have not been on medication since. And I'm not saying this is for everybody, but I'm just wanted to share with you a little bit of how organization has helped some of my clients, save money, discover money, how it's also helped a client be able to downsize without feeling overwhelmed, and also how it's helped me personally. And hopefully in this month of February, as we discover, just my love for organization, but how it can impact your life in so many different areas. So hopefully you enjoyed my little stories. So now let's move on to Taylor's Tips time. And this is a great month too. Organize all the documents you need for your taxes. Create a system for 2022 documents, physical and digital. Begin doing that, or just kind of restructuring that. Make shredding and scanning a part of your routine, whether you do it weekly, bi-weekly, or monthly. Have a conversation with your tax professional and ask them, are there documents you need to toss? And consider transitioning to paperless bills, statements. I'm amazed, like in my business, everything is I get electronic statements or notices. Some stuff is just taking out automatically. I think I may get in all the stuff that I manage in my business and my life. I get one bill, and it's my bill for rental insurance, and that's it. So just think about it. There's less coming in your home as well as your life. Have you been working on getting organized and feel overwhelmed? Are you challenged by managing your time between work, home, and life? Do you want to organize your life? Let's talk so I can help. I work with clients to guide them from start to finish by providing them with details needed to clear the clutter and get organized without feeling overwhelmed and stressed. Go to my contact page and schedule a free 15-minute session. In addition, I offer a variety of virtual coaching plans to meet your needs. Take the steps necessary to create a life you want and start by doing it today. Click the link in the show page. I want to thank you so much for following me on social media, for your likes, your retweets, for your sharing. Please continue to follow me on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Of course, I'm Jana the Organizer on Instagram and Pinterest. I've got a lot of boards, and some particularly on decluttering. Please like and share, and don't forget to check out my YouTube channel and subscribe, and check out my new website. Check out my new website. If you're thinking of getting your life organized and don't want to get overwhelmed, join my Facebook group, Living Life Totally Organized. It's a community of women supporting each other on their journey to living life totally organized. It's free, so join today. We're doing weekly challenges, so each week there's a challenge, there's a focus, and I provide them with strategies on how to let go, on what resources. I give them some personal insights. It's a wonderful, wonderful. Well, what time is it? I can hear you dancing. I'm actually dancing. I'm looking at these beautiful flowers on my desk. But I'm excited. It's Toss It Tuesday time. And this week, I want you to shred documents you no longer own. Hopefully you've had a conversation. Hopefully you are getting rid of stuff. I mean, you can continue to get rid of stuff. I know you said, I'm going to get rid of stuff last year. It's a continual basis. My app suggestion, see, I'm getting a little choked up over here, is Google Drive. You can store and create files, whatever size or complexity. My product suggestion is from our Amazon shop, and it's plastic storage containers, which you can use for your kitchen, your bathroom, and so much more, because they are wonderful specifically in garages and attics, as well as basements. My repurpose suggestion for this week is I'm challenging you to take something you love, tag me, and repurpose it. I've repurposed a tin for my mother, glass tray, a trunk. If you are using something, repurposing it, and it's creating like a little organizing system in your home and your life, tag me on one of my social media channels so I can see and I can like it, possibly share it. My book suggestion for this week is Let It Go by Peter Walsh. And it will help you turn downsizing into a rejuvenating life change with his useful tips and practical takeaways. And of course, understanding the emotional challenges that accompany downsizing, establish a hierarchy of mementos and collectibles, calculate the amount of stuff you can bring into your new life, and create strategies for dividing heirlooms among family members without drama. That's a good book. It's a must read. My quote for this week is, "The stuff you own should help you create the life you want," by Peter Walsh. Well, this month is all about love. I'm excited because, we're going to be talking to Dr. Angela Chester. She's going to be talking about her self-care journal, because we got to love ourselves. It's the month of February. It's all about love. Then Michelle Larkin's going to talk about how to create strategies to do what you love. And we are going to be ending with Dallas Macon, and she's going to be talking about how we can create a closet we love. How does that sound, ladies? Well, I want to thank you for listening, and be sure to share this podcast with your family, your friends, and on your social media network. Again, let me know you enjoy listening to this podcast by leaving a review, and be sure to visit the website www.janetmtaylor.com. And till next time, have a clutter-free day, have an organized week. And I just want to thank you for making it possible for me to celebrate 28 years in business. Organization is a quintessential element of a clutter-free life. Join me as we take this journey together. Along the way, we will find the necessary answers to your organizing dilemmas. My name is Janet M. Taylor, and you are listening to Got Clutter, Get Organized.